What's good, y'all? Fast here with another video. Skip and Shannon. We're gonna see what they gotta say about Game 3. Nuggets dominated. Make sure to go check out the reaction yesterday. It was like I predicted. And Game 4 is already tomorrow, so we'll watch some Skip and Shannon tomorrow also, and we'll have the reaction up tomorrow, obviously. So
I didn't realize this. I knew it was
let's
the
go and
first
see what they
time in
gotta say
playoff
about
history,
it.
but it's
Get
the
better,
first
give
time in the history
Jokic
of the
some credit.
NBA that
And
two
Muarry.
teammates had 30-point triple doubles. That's crazy.
That's
Crazy.
And when you look, you got to stop something. Last night, the only difference between last night and what happened in Game 2, the shots that Jamal Murray took last night went in. The other night they did not. Jokic is going to be Jokic. And I almost bet you that you want to do it.
MPJ still didn't really go crazy, same with Aaron Gordon, but they were able to win. That's why I was like, they don't even need to go that crazy. It's just if they do go crazy, if they do have
what was going to happen,
10, 12 each, it's over.
Come and play. If anybody could get going early, which Jamal Murray did, now he could settle in. But he was a little bit more aggressive than I thought he would. Nikola Jokic, he was even a little bit more aggressive to start the game than I thought he would be. I thought he would totally let the game come to him, but that didn't happen. Skip, I mean, a 30-20. Think about this. This is his third 20 triple-double in playoff history. That's one more than everybody else in the history of the game has done. Kareem had one, Wilt had one, and now he has 3 of these. Jamal Murray, I mean, what can you say about Jamal Murray? He's a shot maker. He can make the 3. He's good from mid-range. He can finish at the rim, and he kissed one late in the ball game. Skip, it almost touched the shot clock. I was like, ain't no way that's going in. That's about to go over the backboard, and it goes in. Last night, Miami just didn't make shots. That's what it comes down to, Skip. When they're not making the 3-point shot, it's very difficult for them to win a game because, like you said, look at what they shot in the regular season as far as getting scoring, as far as 3-point percentage. And when you look at the numbers, they had 2 guys, basically they had 3 guys in double figures. Caleb Martin had 10, and you had Jimmy Butler, whose efficiency was terrible. Bam, efficiency was terrible, although Bam had 22 and 17. You're not going to beat the Nuggets when you only have 2 guys, when your 2 guns score 50, and then everybody else basically under in single digits. But last night, that was as good as the Nuggets can play, and I don't know if the Heat can get to that level of play.
I really think that Heat have a good chance in Game 4. Like I really think they can respond. I think it's going to be a different type of game.
Give you 30.
I think the Heat are going to win Game 4, and I think the Nuggets are going to win Game 5 and 6. That's my prediction.
They'll win
That's my
comfortably. I said they could win by 8. Well, Brown gave you 15. Gordon gave you 11. That's 26.
Okay.
They won by 15.
They did.
I just don't know, Skip, if Miami has enough firepower on a consistent basis. Now, if you tell me that Caleb Martin's going to come out there in Game 4, Skip, and he's going to make 5 threes, and Vince is going to give you 4 threes, and Strus is going to give you 3, and Duncan Robinson, I say, okay, Skip, you got a chance. But other than that, unless you shoot the cover off the basketball,
I mean, playoff Jimmy had 28 points. 28's a lot, man. But
firepower to deal with the 2 big guns, which is Jokic and Murray, which is the best dude, the best big little. That's Shaq and Kobe.
Okay.
Damn.
To your point, I remind everybody,
harder than NBA.
Tyler Hero averaged 20 points a game for this team during the regular season. In Game 1 of the playoffs, not the play-in, but the playoffs.
I doubt it.
Against Milwaukee, at Milwaukee.
Maybe he is, but I don't think he's going to make a difference. I really don't.
I thought maybe he would be back last night. He's not back. I don't know if he's going to come back for Game 4, but when you talk about sheer firepower,
I mean, it can give them a lift. If there's a game for him to come back, it would be this next game, or maybe not.
You have some element of.
You can't just add a player with Tyler Hero winning.
Firepower, right? Okay, so they miss that in crucial situations when the undrafteds all go cold all on the same night. You miss somebody who was drafted in the first round out of Kentucky who's a legitimate star power player.
You definitely use this 20 points right now.
I got you. Okay. All your points, obviously, very valid. I give it up to Joker because it's almost ho-hum now. It's like ho-hum, ho-hum. Score, score, ho-hum, ho-hum, ho. He ho-hummed him to death because he just keeps on keeping on. And the stats just pile up, and nothing looks all that spectacular, although it's extremely creative and clever. And yet, you look up, I didn't even, when I looked up in the third quarter, I said, wait, he's got that many? He's got that, and he's got that? And I thought, I couldn't even remember the assists, and then they pile up, and wait, he's got that many?
Yeah, he almost had a triple-double at the half.
At the halves. Gotcha. Now, the only number I care about, leaping off the page, I'm going to get to Jamal in just a moment, but The first number that leaps off my stat page to me is 58-33. I consider that the final score.
Yeah, you got crushed in the glass.
58-33. Are you kidding me? They lost the rebounds 58-33. No rebounds, no rings. Famously said by the godfather of the Miami Heat when he was a coach, Pat Riley.
Right.
That's
No rebounds,
he's
no
known
rings.
for no
That's
rebounds,
fire.
no rings. Mr. Sharp, rebounds come from position, but in the end, they just come from guts, effort, desire. I want the ball better, worse than you do, right?
Yep.
100%.
58-33. I forgot to even look at points in the paint here. This is the first time I'm
Like
looking at it.
60-24, isn't it?
Okay, 60
34.
34. Okay. Well, second chance points, 14-7. But look, the quote of the night came from the leader of the Heat, Jimmy Butler, who said, and I quote after the game, "Maybe we thought we had done something." That's how they played last night, and that's not who they are. They thought they had actually done something in Denver by stealing the game in the fourth quarter with that flurry by Duncan Robinson, hanging on for dear life, and Jamal was a little wide left on his three that would have sent it to overtime. And they come home 1-all.
They could easily be 3-0 right now.
It looked like they thought they were actually in control enough they could put it on cruise control. No. They thought in the first game of the play-in, they could put it on cruise control at home. And what happened to them?
Right.
The Atlanta freaking Hawks annihilated them by beating them on the boards 63-39. 63 to the Hawks did. And then they faced do or die against the Bulls, and they're down 3 with 3.5 minutes left. Strus hits a 3, and then Jimmy took over, and they barely survived that because they're not that talented.
No.
They have to do it the hardest way, as Spo keeps saying. We always do it the hardest way. Well, the hardest way means the littlest way. It means you scratch and claw, you scrap for loose balls. Shannon, it was clear to me from the outset that Denver was playing for its life as opposed to the Heat, the 8-seed frauds that they can be turned into, playing for their life.
But I think you have to, I think you can agree that a part of you are going to have a letdown. If you go on the road, you steal the game, and then you come home.
Okay.
And you think, man, our crowd going to be rocking, and you don't come out with that same fervor.
Okay, I got you. So,
Game 4 tomorrow, Game 5 Monday.
Well because they were ahead. And we went deep
I think it
into
goes
the second
6.
quarter.
Right. I think it goes 6.
And they're ahead, and they're hanging in, and all of a sudden, Caleb Martin, we had a sighting after he scored 3 and 3 in the first 2 games in Denver, and he had migraine problems. Says he's completely healthy, and he goes on an 8-point flurry.
By himself.
And all of a sudden, I look up, and there's the bam slam that comes at 3:18 left in the second quarter that put, would you believe the home team was ahead 44-42? So they're still doing okay. This is 3:18 left in the second quarter,
like I'm predicting the Heat till next game, but then it's over.
And then I'm going to show you one shot by Jamal that changed the night, but he had a whole bunch of shots in the first and the second quarter. Let's see the one shot. This is the go-ahead shot right here by Jamal. That was the bam slam. Never looked back. What happened in the first 2 quarters? Joker was pretty good, but Jamal Murray was off charts great because, Shannon, he saved your bacon again and again and again. First quarter and second. I'm going to give you the shots that he made and what the score was at this point, or what the deficit was. Okay, his first shot is a bank shot in the first quarter that cuts it to 3. So you're teetering.
Right.
Then he makes this little floater that cut it to 3 again. Then he makes a little 9-foot
He started off in the
jumper
first
that
quarter
cut it to
hot,
1.
too.
Then he makes a layup that cut it to 2. Those are in the first quarter.
Right.
So you can see what's happening. You're hanging in. Now we go to the second quarter. He hits a big 3 to cut it to 1. He hits another 3 that you're starting to roll here.
It's great how good Murray is,
makes
but
a free throw that
they
ties
win,
the game.
I mean,
This
it's
is
clear and
during the
obvious in
Caleb
my opinion that
Martin
Jokic
outburst.
will win the
Then
finals.
he makes the 3 I just showed you to go up 1. Then he makes another driving layup shot to put you up 3. Never look back. How crucial were you? Want to talk about impact points? I give you Joker. I give you all the above. He's just doing it and doing it and doing it. But if you don't have Jamal making clutch shot after momentum-saving clutch shot, you're going to be in a heap of trouble.
You mentioned one of those threes in there, Skip. He hit a three with the shot clock winding down, and they were down 4, so it cut it to a 1-point ball game.
Right.
And you're right, he got it going early. Because if you look at it, Joke only had 10 shots at the half. He was 5 of 10, 14 points. Jamal Murray had 20 points. He had 8 of 13. So he came out ultra aggressive. That's not by accident. I think sometimes, you get into it, man, am I taking too many shots? Am I not taking enough shots? And they basically said, Mike Malone probably just told him, said, Jamal, go play. And Nikola can play off of you. Go play. Don't worry. Skip in the fourth quarter, Michael Porter Jr., I don't think he stepped on the court. Okay. He's becoming unplayable because he's lost his confidence, Skip. Right. He's shooting and praying.
He's not making shots.
And
Brown, right defense, though.
Bruce Brown and Christian Brown and Jeff Green, they're getting his minutes. But, Skip, you can't I'm surprised it's only about 15. You let 2 guys do something that's never been done in the history of the game, and you shoot 37% from the floor, and you get out-rebounded by 25, that's normally a 30-point victory.
It should have been much worse. I would agree with that. Okay, my 2 big guns, Jimmy Butler and Bam, had okay games.
Right.
Because it looks okay that you wind up with 28 and 22 points, and the 22s with 17. Okay, the deficiency is
no good with Bam scoring. Like, that's not going to beat the Nuggets. It's just not.
It's 40%, but it's not good enough because your 2 were 24 of 43. That's 56% versus the 40% that my 2 shot. Right. Okay, that's the difference because it's just not good enough. Now, who has been the heroes of nights, of quarters? Gabe Vincent, you've been fearful of him.
Yes.
And Max Strus, who's made a lot of big shots here and there for this team. Gabe Vincent and Max Strus last night combined to go 3 of 17 total and 2 of 10 from 3. Well, I can tell you what's going to happen. You're going to get hurt because you need somebody to step up, and neither of those 2 could step up. Caleb Martin weirdly had an 8-point burst in the second quarter, and then he's not involved in the offense after that. I keep saying, Caleb Martin, go, find him, run a play for him or something. He scores 2 more points the rest of the game. Was he not the Eastern Conference Finals MVP? I thought he was. Well, where has he been? Well, we saw a flash, and then we saw nothing, right?
Right.
Okay, so it's still not good enough. Which brings me to the one player last night that made all the difference in the world. You were thinking, you talked about Michael Porter Jr. needing to
Christian Brown. All right, let's see what they have to say about Christian Brown. And then...
There's a kid named Christian, right?
Yeah.
Last name Brown.
Yes.
He was the 21st pick in the draft this year. He's a rookie.
Yeah, out of Kansas.
He's out of Kansas City High School, Overland Park, where he won 3 straight state championships. So you got to say that's some credentials, right?
Yeah.
You're involved in those. He was the state of Kansas Gatorade Player of the Year, Mr. Kansas basketball. He goes to the University of Kansas University, and leads them as a key player to the Final Four, and they win the national championship. In the championship game against Carolina, he had 12 points and 12 rebounds and was a key defender for them. He is 6'6", 220, and he is raw boned and raw energy. And he's got winner written all over him.
And he be dunking. I like it. And y'all remember the regular season when Duncan did Nuggets? He stood out to me, man.
He is a Miami Heat type player.
He attacking the basket.
Okay, and what he did last night was he did a heat on the heat.
Yes.
Because usually it's one of my undrafted guys who play like Christian Brown did last night. Instead, all the hard points, the ones the painful points, the ones you say, no, because you can live with Joker because you got to live with Joker.
Right.
You can sometimes live with Jamal, but you can't live with Christian Brown making 7 out of 8 shots for 15 points. And I'm going to show you those 7 because you can see how.
All right, man. Let me know your thoughts on it. Make sure you like, subscribe. Let me know you're on in Game 4. We're after tomorrow. We're also going to watch Skip and Shannon tomorrow, so